Welcome to POP Podcast, everyone. Ready for a deep dive into something that I think we can all relate to?
Oh, yeah.
The wild world of trying to get tickets to a live show.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
It doesn't matter if it's a concert or a play or even like a big sporting event. It's just become this
It's an absolute nightmare.
yeah, total nightmare. This whole thing with the on-sale dates and, you're sitting there like clicking refresh, and then
And bots are always going to win.
the bots win every time.
Right.
And even if you're lucky enough to, snag a ticket, then you're looking at prices that are just
Astronomical.
yeah, astronomical.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating. So today we're going to deep dive into a recent executive order that's trying to tackle this whole ticket scalping mess, hopefully making things a little bit easier on us actual fans.
It's about time someone did something about this. I mean, it's gotten so out of hand. It used to be you'd worry about the scalpers outside the venue.
Right, with their trench coats.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's all online. And it's even worse because there's all these bots and algorithms that are just scooping up all the tickets before a real person even has a chance.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Okay.
you're competing against machines.
Right. And then they resell those tickets at like 10 times the price.
It's insane. So this executive order, it was actually signed by President Trump.
Oh, yeah. This is an interesting one.
It is. And the whole thing is kind of a spectacle. And get the Kid Rock was there.
No way. Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. He was right there in the Oval Office with President Trump for the signing.
Okay, I got to see a picture of this.
We got to see it. So the whole goal of this executive order is to try and protect fans from what they're calling exploitative ticket scalping. And they want to introduce some common sense reforms to how ticket prices work. But anyway, back to Kid Rock. He's standing there with President Trump wearing sunglasses indoors, a white fedora, and he's got on this red, white, and blue suit. I mean, it's like American flags, eagles, stars, the whole shebang.
Wow, that's a statement.
It is. And he's basically there saying that he's been through it too. He's experienced the frustration of trying to buy tickets online and dealing with the instant sellouts and the crazy price hikes.
Well, he's not wrong. I mean, everyone's felt that pain. I know I have.
I have too. So he's calling this executive order a great first step, which, I guess it is. But we'll have to see what actually comes of it.
Right. I mean, it's all well and good to have photo ops and sign orders.
Yeah.
But what are the actual details?
That's the key question, right? So this executive order, it really zeroes in on what it calls unscrupulous middlemen.
Which is a fancy way of saying scalpers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The scalpers, the people who are jacking up ticket prices to these ridiculous levels. So the main part of the order is that it's telling the Treasury Secretary and the Attorney General to make sure that any reseller who's selling tickets above face value is playing by the rules.
The IRS rules.
Yeah, IRS rules, taxes, and all that.
That's interesting. So they're trying to hit them where it hurts?
I guess so. And this actually ties into something that was already in motion before this executive order even happened. Back in 2023, a new law went into effect that requires all those e-commerce platforms like, the StubHubs and the SeatGeeks of the world to report any ticket sale proceeds over $600 to the IRS.
Ah, so Uncle Sam wants his cut.
Exactly. So if you're out there making a bunch of money flipping tickets, the government is going to know about it, and you're going to have to pay taxes on those profits. And what's kind of interesting is that this whole reporting requirement actually started during the Biden administration.
Oh, so it's not just a Trump thing.
Nope. It seems like both sides of the aisle agree that there needs to be some kind of oversight on this whole ticket reselling thing.
Yeah, because it's gotten out of control. So is it just about taxes then?
No, not just taxes. Another big part of this executive order is giving more power to the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, and also the Attorney General to really enforce those competition laws. And a big thing they're pushing for is price transparency.
Price transparency. Now, that's something I can get behind.
Yeah, that means that you should know exactly what you're going to pay for a ticket right from the start. No more hidden fees or surprises.
Oh, man, the fees. Those are the worst.
The worst. You think you finally found a decent price, and then bam. You get hit with all these service charges and facility fees and processing fees and who knows what else.
It's like they're trying to hide the real cost from you.
Exactly. And it makes it so hard to compare prices and figure out what's a good deal.
And sometimes those fees are more than the ticket itself.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So the White House, they put out this fact sheet explaining why they felt like this executive order was necessary. And they really emphasized how these scalpers are using bots and other unfair means to basically corner the market.
Bots, yeah, those are a huge problem.
They are. They're these automated programs that can just buy up tons of tickets, like in seconds.
Yeah.
Way faster than any human could.
It's like playing against a supercomputer.
Yeah, and it's not fair at all. The scalpers use these bots to get all the best tickets, and then they turn around and sell them them at these crazy markups.
And when they say markups, they mean it.
Hmm.
I read in that fact sheet that some tickets have been resold for up to 70 times their face value.
70 times. That's insane.
It's like robbery.
It is.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much money is actually going back to the artists and the venues, and how much is just going straight into the pockets of these scalpers.
It's a good question. It seems like even President Trump was surprised by how bad this problem is.
Yeah, he apparently said, I didn't know too much about it, but I checked it out, and this is a big problem. Which, for someone who's dealt with a lot of big problems, that's a pretty telling statement.
Yeah, it definitely suggests that this issue really resonated with him.
It makes sense, though, right?
Yeah.
Think about how much attention this whole ticket scalping thing has been getting lately, especially after that whole Taylor Swift era's tour fiasco.
Oh, man, that was a mess.
It was a total meltdown. The demand for those tickets was just through the roof, and the whole system basically crashed and burned.
People were furious.
They were rightfully so. I mean, some people had been waiting for hours in those online queues only to get kicked out or told that everything was sold out. And then they see those same tickets popping up on reseller sites for like thousands of dollars.
It's enough to make you give up on going to concerts altogether.
I know. And the crazy thing is that Taylor Swift situation, it wasn't just like a one-off thing. It actually sparked a whole bunch of investigation.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. There were those Senate hearings.
Yeah, the Senate got involved, and then the Biden administration, they launched an antitrust probe to see if there was any, like, illegal stuff going on in the ticketing industry.
It's a good thing they're looking into it.
It is. Yeah, so now you've got the Justice Department. They've got this lawsuit going against Ticketmaster and Live Nation.
Ticketmaster and Live Nation, those are like the big players.
They are, yeah. And the Justice Department is accusing them of operating what they call an illegal monopoly, which basically means they're saying that Ticketmaster and Live Nation have too much control over the market, and that they're using that power to artificially inflate ticket prices.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. That case is still going on, so we'll have to see what happens. But it shows you how seriously the government is taking this whole ticket scalping issue.
I'm curious what Live Nation has to say about all this.
Well, they did put out a statement. They said that they support the executive order and that they're all for any meaningful resale reforms. And specifically, they mention strengthening the 2016 Bots Act.
Remind me what the Bots Act does.
Yeah, so the Bots Act basically makes it illegal to use bots to buy up huge amounts of tickets online.
Which makes sense. I mean, that's how the scalpers are getting all the tickets in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Live Nation is saying they want to see that law enforced even more. And they also said they support putting caps on resale prices.
That's interesting, considering they're the ones often accused of setting high prices in the first place.
Right, and they even thanked President Trump for taking them head on, which is kind of a strange thing to say when you're being sued by the Justice Department.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what their angle is.
It does.
Hmm.
But anyway, back to the signing ceremony with President Trump and Kid Rock. We talked about Kid Rock's outfit.
Oh, yeah, that was quite the ensemble.
It was. But he actually made some interesting points, too. He talked about how this whole ticket scalping thing, it's not really a partisan issue.
Which is surprising in this day and age.
It is. Everyone seems to agree that it's a problem no matter what your political beliefs are.
Hmm.
And Kid Rock even said that Ticketmaster is on board with these efforts to reform the system.
I wonder what that really means.
I know, right? Like, are they actually going to change their ways, or is this just something they're saying to try and avoid more legal trouble?
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but Kid Rock seemed pretty sincere about the whole thing. He said that he just wants to see fair ticket prices and that he believes there's plenty of money to go around. Nobody's going to lose here.
That's an optimistic outlook.
It is. But, you know, it would be great if it actually worked out that way. If everyone could get a fair shake and fans wouldn't have to go broke just to see their favorite artists.
Totally agree. And Kid Rock, he actually went a step further than just talking about the executive order. He actually called on Congress to pass a law that would put a hard cap on resale ticket prices.
He did. Yeah, and then in true Kid Rock fashion, he immediately followed that up by saying that he's a capitalist.
Of course he is.
He even joked about being overpaid and wanting to be a hero to working-class people by offering lower-priced tickets. But then he admitted that he can't really control that right now.
It's that age-old dilemma for artists. Do you make your shows accessible to everyone, or do you charge what the market will bear?
It's tough. There's no easy answer.
Nope. But it's good that he's at least thinking about it.
It is. So yeah, there's a lot going on with this whole ticket scalping situation.
Yeah.
And it's not just about politics. It's about fairness and access to live entertainment.
Absolutely. And if you're listening and you're as passionate about this as we are, let us know in the comments. What are your biggest frustrations when it comes to buying tickets? What do you think needs to change? And do you think this executive order will actually make a difference?
Yeah, we want to hear from you. And if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future episodes. We've got a lot more interesting stuff coming up.
We do. We'll keep digging into these complex issues, try to make sense of it all.
So stick with us.
Hmm.
Now back to the signing ceremony. There were a couple of funny moments that happened that I have to tell you about.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
So at one point, someone asked President Trump if he would ever consider wearing Kid Rock's jacket.
That sparkly American flag one.
Yeah, that one. And he kind of chuckled and didn't really answer the question. It was pretty funny. And then, get this. After all the speeches and the photos and everything, it turned out that President Trump hadn't actually signed the executive order yet.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. It was like they forgot about the most important part.
That's hilarious.
Right? But he did eventually sign it. He handed it to Kid Rock and said, "You better do well with this." And then Kid Rock, being Kid Rock, he held up the signed order and said, "Make America fun again."
Classic Kid Rock.
So yeah, the whole thing was a bit of a spectacle. But hey, at least it's bringing some attention to this issue. And hopefully some real change will come out of it.
I hope so.
Me too. So what's the biggest takeaway for you from all of this?
Well, for me, it's that this executive order, it's a sign that people are finally taking this ticket scalping problem seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the White House involved,
Yeah.
you've got the Justice Department involved, you've got Congress starting to pay attention. It's definitely a step in the right direction.
I agree. And for me, it's about the bigger picture. This whole issue, it makes you think about the role of technology and how it's being used to exploit fans. And it makes you question whether the current system is really fair and if it's actually working for the people it's supposed to be serving.
It's a good point. We need to find a way to balance the convenience of online ticketing with the need to protect fans from being ripped off.
Exactly. It's a complex issue, but it's an important one, and it's something we need to keep talking about.
Absolutely. So if you're listening and this has gotten you thinking, be sure to share your thoughts with us in the comments. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back soon with more insightful explorations of the topics shaping our world.
Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning.
And don't let the bots win.
That's right.
Thanks for listening, everyone.